Lies, all lies. Look at her neck. No way. She just slid her fingertips gently over the marks left, spreading a wave of heat that ran through her entire body. Stop touching other people's necks. Can you stop that? I'll ask the secretary to bring some concealer to cover it. It is not necessary. Are you going back to your room like this? And how else would I go back? Or do you want me to sleep with you one more night? Don't challenge me. I'm not challenging. If you dare, come. Can you stop talking like I'm afraid of you? You should be, don't you think? When Bonita regained her composure, her personality began to shine through again. Which was a good thing. After all, Kirafat didn't like seeing her downcast, unable to do anything but stay by her side. You ask me to respect you, but you keep provoking me until I lose my mind. Do you think it's fun to get hurt? So stop frowning, pursing your lips, and clenching your teeth. Then I won't do anything. Do you like it when I'm like this? What if I say yes? Kirafat snorted. She didn't believe Bonita actually liked her. It was more likely that she just enjoyed seeing her reaction. Either way, she had to admit that Bonita was bolder than anyone she had ever met. And then I'm the one who takes advantage of the opportunities. Who was it that offered this chance, huh? Bonita was silent. She was right. The only time she didn't want it was the first time, and she knew it. She had already apologized and been forgiven. So tell me right away that you don't hate my kisses. If you did, why would you reciprocate? Is that something you ask? Why wouldn't I ask? During the kiss, it was just the two of us. If I don't ask you, who would I ask? Bonita grimaced. Kirafat was the only one who could talk about this subject without the slightest embarrassment. She wasn't like her, who could talk about kisses and other things so easily. Can you stop being so direct about things that don't need to be? Kirafat frowned in confusion. What was wrong with asking? I kissed you, so who should I ask? I have to go to work today. I have to talk to the manager about my dismissal and that thing you asked me to do. Since she kept insisting, she had to change the subject. Otherwise, she would keep talking about the kiss nonstop. Why didn't you tell me before? You didn't ask, and how would I know what you plan to do every day? And why should I tell you? Isn't it strange that I suddenly start telling you everything I do in my day? Kirafat sighed, walked over to the table, picked up her black jacket, closed her briefcase, and gathered her belongings before turning back to face her. I'll take you. Can you not act like a sugar mommy? I'm not old enough to be called that. And what should I call you then? What she was doing gave rise to the thought of that. Hiring her to take care of a single person, giving her an apartment to live in, and to top it all off, the intense kiss just now. How could one not think that she had no ulterior motives? My name is enough. You don't need to give me nicknames. Kirafat said calmly and pulled Bonita to her feet, before placing her jacket over her shoulders. Put this on. It's not appropriate to walk around with me wearing a student uniform, okay? People already saw me wearing this when I came in, but did they see your neck all marked like this by me? Can you not talk so directly about these things? No, Kirafat answered without even needing to think. Bonita wanted to pinch her mouth. Who taught this creature to be so direct? Some things just didn't need to be said. The more she talked, the more she remembered what had happened. Every time she kissed her, her posture spoke volumes. She never did it just because she was angry. She seemed to enjoy taking her emotions out on her. And the more she resisted, the more Queen seemed to enjoy it. Thinking about this, Bonita wondered why she wasn't afraid of her. The more she was strict, the more she wanted to challenge her. Put it on. Kirafat's voice sounded more authoritative. This time, she obeyed. The familiar scent of her expensive perfume reached her nose. She was already familiar with that scent. A clean, sophisticated fragrance that made her seem even more imposing. Since the night before, she had already given her an outfit to wear. Although their bodies were not that different in size, Queen's height caused the jacket to fall over her hips. It feels like I'm wearing my father's clothes. Bonita searched for her gaze. The more serious Queen became, the more she wanted to tease her. Daddy? Kirafat froze. She didn't know what she felt when she heard that. She seemed to like it, but at the same time she didn't. Stop it, I already told you not to give me nicknames. But it's cute. It's not like that word can only be used for men. I'm not going to play.
Why?
Did you like it? Quiet, babe. Bonita smiled, pleased that she had managed to get her off her rocker. At least she didn't feel like she was losing this fight. Between the two of them, the cat and mouse game never stopped. And the moment she approached to whisper, "Daddy," in her ear, Kirafat was faster and pulled her towards her, making her body collide against hers. Her face was so close that she could feel Kirafat's heart beating fast. She smiled. She said she didn't like it, but if her heart was racing like that. What could that mean? Don't joke like that. I don't like it. Bonita looked up to look at her. From this angle, Kirafat's serious face looked even more beautiful. And, what's more, his lips were also swollen, just like hers. I'm not joking. Don't mess with what you don't understand, okay? Was that a lecture or a concern? Kirafat sighed. The hand that held her slender waist closer squeezed tighter before she spoke in a voice that seemed to contain harassed patience. Can you not be stubborn for at least 10 minutes? Time, Bonita raised an eyebrow. Try asking me. Maybe I'll be a good girl for longer. You're on working hours. I know. The young woman's soft voice replied, raising her index finger and drawing circles on the other person's left chest before asking, Did I do something wrong at work? You are stubborn. I'm not stubborn. Babe. Yes? As soon as this word was said, her waist was tightened even more. The other person leaned in, looking like she was about to do something with her lips, but Bonita lowered her head in time to escape. Lift your face. Bonita remained silent, without answering, but stood on her tiptoes and lightly bit the other's shoulder through her white shirt, in retaliation for being squeezed and pinched nonstop. Ow, you squeezed me even tighter than that. Do you dare to bite me? And you still dare to bite me too. When the other kissed her, she bit her lips repeatedly, and Bonita never complained. On her neck too. She was already a full-grown wolf, so when would she stop acting like a restless pup with itchy teeth? Be careful not to be left without an answer. Kirafat controlled her emotions before pulling away from the soft body. The sudden movement caught Bonita by surprise. Did you push me? I just pushed you away. You pushed me. Babe, I don't like that. This naughty girl. What to do with her? Every day, Bonita messed up her thought system more than the company's profits, but in a unique way that was hard to define. Kirafat didn't like her stubbornness, but she liked her resilience. Don't make me punish you, because if I do, you know it won't be kind. Why are you so stubborn with me? Bonita looked at the pretty face, trying to find any trace of emotion in the other's eyes to confirm her own confidence before answering. Because you love it when I'm like this. I do not. Are you sure? Why? Nothing. I just wanted to make sure you really don't like it. When we're alone, you can be as stubborn as you want, but when there's someone else present, I expect you to understand when I give you an order. You just made me a promise. Yes. Bonita's first test was dealing with the stares of several people. Some were discreet, but others stared at her shamelessly, without hiding it. Don't lower your head. Kirafat whispered as she looked straight ahead as usual. The bodyguards walked beside them, but Bonita wasn't used to it. Her body was hunched over, her shoulders slumped, and she bumped into the other several times. Babe, look straight ahead. Don't look at the ground. This time, along with the words came a gentle hand wrapping around her shoulders and pulling her closer. The gesture made it clear that this woman was under Kirafat's care. This caused a few gazes to shift away, while Bonita began to raise her head. If you don't listen to me, you'll be punished. This time, I'll let it go. But if it happens again, don't say I didn't warn you about what I'll do. Bonita had moved into Queen's condominium 2 weeks ago. After school, she would work and come home, repeating this routine over and over again. Over time, she discovered that her favorite moment was when Queen would close her eyes and listen intently to what she was saying, whether it was a report from her secretary or international news. Queen never ignored her efforts. Do you think this cryptocurrency is worth the investment? From a businesswoman's perspective, Bonita didn't know why Queen was asking that, but the fact that her opinion was being taken into account made her happy. It still doesn't seem interesting to me. The owner does a lot of self-promotion without having a concrete product. So you think like me. When she moved into the condominium, Bonita didn't expect the apartment to be so large. With her few belongings, she felt lost in the large space, but she appreciated the security and privacy that Queen provided. Queen never entered her room, only asking if she was comfortable and safe, insisting only that there would be people monitoring from a distance, at least temporarily, until the curious stopped investigating. At first, Mint, her best friend, protested a lot, but after seeing that the place was suitable, she ended up accepting and said, "Remember, Bo, you'll always have me." So when Mint called to cover her shift that night, Bonita was hesitant. Mint was sick and couldn't take off work that weekend. "What are you thinking?" Kirafat asked, noticing that Bonita had suddenly gone quiet. She had been enjoying the conversation, but now she seemed distant. "What? Is there anything besides me occupying your mind?" "Yes, there is." "What?" With each passing day, Kirafat made her feel more and more special, smiling softly. "Bonita,"
repeated Mint.
Kirafat frowned. "Your friend, Mint, asked me to cover a shift tonight. Why? She's sick and has already used up all her time off. She called me a little while ago asking for help. Can I go help her?" Over the past week, Bonita has noticed how busy Queen has been. The journalists were relentless. Every Friday, Queen went home in a sour mood. This meant that tonight was her chance to help Mint without bothering Queen. "Do whatever you want." "Thanks, but I'm going with you." "What? Why not?" "Can I go for a drink?" "But you have to go home." "So what?" "My house won't move. I'm not running away. I'm just going to work." "You talk too much. Admit it right away that you're attached to me. Save that mouth for something sweet later. I don't want you to end up hurt because of me." So stubborn. Kirafat seemed to be in a bad mood again. It doesn't stop her from doing anything, but it always makes her angry. So, it makes Bonita want to provoke her to see if she loses her composure. "Are you going to hit me?" I am scared." "If you're not really scared, then don't say it. I'm afraid you won't do anything." "Babe, yes?" Here she goes again with that attitude. Bonita likes to provoke her to do something, and when she does, she pretends to be vulnerable, looking at Kirafat as if she had forced her. So she ends up being pulled until she loses her balance and sits on her lap. Kirafat, who is sitting in the office chair, quickly grabs her waist before she falls. "If you are afraid, then leave." Queen's request for permission is the least sincere thing in the world. If she wants to kiss, she never asks, "Can I kiss you?" but always something that forces Bonita to interpret the meaning on her own. She is someone who's stubborn and hard to please, but strangely, she seems like a puzzle that Bonita is desperately trying to solve, without even knowing what the reward is at the end. What awaits me at the end of this? Heaven or hell? You said you don't want me to bend down, didn't you? From this angle, I'm taller than you. Kirafat sighs heavily, pushing the papers to the corner of the table without caring if anything falls to the floor. Then she lifts Bonita and places her on the table, standing up and leaning over her. "Now look up." Again, she always likes to pinch her chin. "Don't turn your face away unless I allow it. Don't bite my lips. I have to work tonight, and I might have to drink alcohol, so I can't risk my lips getting bruised." Kirafat changes her mind. "If lips are forbidden territory, I can bite somewhere else. Keep your chin up." She says this before burying her face in Bonita's neck, nibbling and sucking, making her swallow hard. She has to work tonight. Did Queen forget that? Don't leave any marks. Don't tell me what to do. Kirafat ignores her request, so Bonita raises her hands and pushes her face away. "I have to work. I am your work." Bonita wants to laugh. She didn't stop her from going to work, but she's sulking because she didn't get what she wanted. If you don't want me to buy you, then don't be stubborn. And who started this? Did I start? When Queen starts to look dissatisfied instead of irritated, Bonita likes it. She's learned to deal with her more every day. After work, I won't stop anything. Do I need to hear you? Or would you prefer me to find someone else who does? Kirafat frowns and reprimands her in a stern tone. I already told you I don't like that. You never like anything when it comes to me. Because I don't like it, have a little patience. You say you don't like it, but your eyes are devouring me now, babe. Kirafat scolds again. She needs to know what is going on. How long they're going to play this game of patience.
And why?
Their status doesn't allow any of that. Wait, okay? Bonita murmurs before pulling her face down for a light kiss above her lips, as if she was taming a ferocious wolf. This makes her stop in her tracks. Wait for me, understand? Humph. I can't get anything. She doesn't know when they started communicating more with their bodies than with words. If you piss me off again after work, it won't just be a mark. Did you understand? She doesn't answer, just pulls Kirafat's face into a new kiss as a reward for promising to wait. Her face is lifted again, and since Queen can't unload her emotions on her lips, her touch on Bonita's body intensifies. Her back is pressed, waist gripped by gentle hands. Bonita's shirt, tucked under her skirt, is pulled up and Queen's warm hand slides over her skin, making her grab her wrist to stop her from going any further. At most, it's all just kisses and bites on the neck. Stop for now. Bonita takes a deep breath. Queen's kisses always steal her energy. She never gets used to it, and she doesn't think she ever will. Just a little more. I blush every day because of you. Go easy on me. I already took it easy. Kirafat finally removes her hands from Bonita's body and sighs against her neck, trying to control her emotions. She hates feeling this way. Being around Bonita every day makes her feel too much. She likes to be in control, and I can't stand it when Bonita tries to switch roles. Kirafat didn't lie about coming for drinks. She let Bonita work, but she didn't take her eyes off her. Something strange happened. First, she was serving one group of customers, but suddenly she was transferred to another group, even though the first one hadn't left yet. Normally, when a girl waits at table, she stays there all night. The job is to serve drinks and chat. Because of the distance and the poor lighting, Kirafat can't really see who's at the table, but she has the feeling she knows someone there. Soon, one of her men approaches and she asks, Kongthap? Yes. The son of Mr. Wazen's political rival. Kongthap, Kirafat, and King were once friends, but because of family rivalry, their friendship was destroyed. Something happened between Kongthap and King that caused them to break up completely. Boss. What? Mr. Kongthap sent word that if you don't hurry, he'll take this kitten home. Kirafat frowns. Of course. Today, Bonita is wearing a crop top that reveals her waist, long pants, and a cat ear headband in her light hair, drawing attention wherever she goes. The young woman quickly got up from the table and walked unhurriedly in the direction she wanted to go, with the black-robed security guard following her from a distance. She arrived in time to see that Bonita was being persuaded to drink an alcoholic beverage. Kongthap? Oh, I thought it was Queen. Did you know I was coming? The young man chuckled. His deep, hard-to-read gaze quickly glanced at Kirafat before flashing a wide smile as he looked at Bonita. At first, I didn't think it was true, but it seems like the Queen's throne is shaking because she showed weakness. Are you talking nonsense? I'm just saying what I think. Without a queen, we still have the king. Have you forgotten? This sentence made Kongthap clench his teeth tightly. The crack between their friendship was still clearly present and would not disappear. And if he were to really fight, he knew he wouldn't be able to beat two siblings who got along so well. Kirafat was not afraid of having weaknesses, because Kita's support was always strong. But still, he would have to try. Drink with me. Kongthap ignored Kirafat and spoke to Bonita on purpose. He made a discreet signal to Kirafat, indicating that there was something dangerous in the drink. Bonita, for her part, didn't know how to react. She also wasn't sure what was happening at that moment. Queen had said she would stay at the table until the job was finished, but there were still several hours to go, and this client seemed to know her personally. "You can't drink too much." She told the wealthy client that she had bought Bonita's hourly wages from the other clients. However, the man had paid for all the drinks and their value, so of course he would not accept Bonita not drinking. "It's okay. Don't do anything dirty, Kongthap. You're better than that." Kirafat spoke in a calm voice, her serious and menacing gaze directed at Kongthap. In fact, he was not a bad person. He was even a good friend. But the actions of the elders had affected the children, causing friends to become enemies. "It's not fun, is it?" Kongthap muttered. "How about this? If you don't want the kitty to drink." Kongthap raised his hand and touched Bonita's chin, keeping his hand there until she had to pull her face away, moving further. "You drink. Is this poison? Why do you want me to drink it so much? Let's take a risk, like we did when we were kids." The boldness when they were young was like holding a gun with a single bullet and taking turns aiming at the temple. That was why they were able to be friends. She didn't have resentments like Kita and hadn't been pushed away alone as Kongthap, so there were no deep wounds. Kirafat sat between Kongthap and Bonita, her hard gaze reprimanding Bonita's frail body that caused this situation. She then looked at Kongthap with a determined gaze. "If I die, Kita will make you die even more painfully. I know." He knew better than anyone what the two siblings were like, and if I am tortured, Kita will make you suffer even more. Kongthap swallowed hard before nodding his head. Because, no matter what the outcome was, Kita wouldn't leave him alone if he touched his sister. Not even a hair. Kita had always been like this, and Kongthap had chosen this path since he had placed someone to follow Kirafat's movements. He knew it wouldn't be easy to get close to Kita, but it wasn't impossible if he pressed at the right point. "What's going on?" Bonita whispered. "If I die." Kirafat started to speak, but didn't finish before she was interrupted by Bonita, who was startled by her talking about life and death. "What are you saying? I know you won't miss me. If you can't speak properly, it's better to keep quiet." Bonita replied firmly, and from what she understood of the conversation, it seemed that they were both referring to the drink in the glass that was beginning to melt, with drops of water around it. Whoever died in this world, it could be anyone, but not the woman named Kirafat. "Babe."
No.
Kirafat and Kongthap exclaimed together as Bonita took the glass and downed it, drinking it all in one go, finishing by throwing ice on the floor so no one else could drink again. "What now? Who's going to die this time?"